Hello and welcome to my talk on coins with utility. I am pwrcycle. I wanted to talk a bit about the other coins that are in the blockchain space, which aren't particular to currency and monetary exchange. Um, the idea has kind of broadened into other things or used for other things, such as research, kind of utilizing the cloud itself and the network itself as the item, and just social networking and how that changes a bit too. So what's interesting is there are um, before cryptocurrencies and before Bitcoin, there's a project called SETI at Home, which was a search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And ostensibly, there was a huge amount of data which radio telescopes were gathering, but it couldn't be processed and it was being discarded. And someone thought, well, what if we just give it out to the people who now have um, internet access and see if they can crunch it at home and maybe we get lucky? That project evolved into folding at home in the 2000s, where they took that same concept and applied it to DNA research and cracking the human genome. Um, Today, Stanford University is using that same folding at home project and has applied a crypto coin to it called Folding Coin, which they use as the reward for researching things like Alzheimer's, Huntington's, Parkinson's, and cancers. The, um, the coin itself doesn't have any real value, although it is a token of a proof of work for a certain amount of time spent doing some work. And it would be possible, I can conceive, of different universities trading this coin amongst themselves as far as research, either just for show or as some sort of swap for the research time that they're giving each other, which would be hard for anyone else to value. Um, What's interesting even in the space is there is another coin named CureCoin, which uses the folding coin network. It just rewards people with a different coin. It's kind of how amusing how even in the same corner case space, there becomes forks of the same idea. So one of the other uses is sort of cloud utility, which is using the network itself, or uses themselves as the reward or the work, instead of mining, so to speak. So there's a couple interesting coins. One of which being storage, STORG, which simply, instead of mining with your computer, pays you for storing files on your hard drive. It pays you for keeping those accessible at any time so that users can retrieve them. Um, there's another coin named Psi, which since ostensibly does the exact same thing, just with a couple of different tweaks. But what these do is they give users a way to upload something which in essence cannot be deleted. Once it's part of the blockchain as a file, it becomes next to impossible to erase its existence so long as that blockchain exists. Um, this is very interesting for anti-censorship or for long-term proof of things such as possibly a land title. Um, you can also absolutely use important files, but you really wouldn't put a DVD movie in just for the size and the non-necessary aspect of it. Um, One of the other coins is Gullum. Gullum is very similar to the concept of the folding at home research, in that it uses your computer and all of the computers collectively as a supercomputer to do some process. The um, the users get to either contribute their processing time to crunching some data for someone, or you can pay the network itself by buying the coins and then submitting work to be done and then paying for it on the amount of time or the amount of processing power that needs to happen. This is really interesting and mostly used for graphics rendering, which on a few computers or for someone who is graphically inclined but does not have the means to purchase very large systems, this becomes a way to get that done, but not only get it done, but get it done very quickly and get it done without relying on one person or one system to do that for you. It also has the ability to do microservices and dApps. So there is the kind of ability to do rather kind of smart contracts, but mostly it's processing power that you're buying. And another coin along those lines is Gridcoin, which uses Bionic, which is also part of the old SETI at Home and other research offshoots of that. It again uses user submitted projects, but here the users must first mine or buy some coins, and then the users can give out um, coins based upon or inside the project they create. They can give out reward coins inside that 100 that they've done for another project. So if you have some long-term thing, if you want to point to a particular star and just compute data or frequency coming off of that, you can submit a project just for that. Whereas with Stanford and other large universities, they are in control of which projects get the processing power. And with Gullum, it's more of a short-term thing. With Grid, you can actually set up a project yourself to do that sort of thing. So another use of coins is social networking. So there are um, sites like Reddit where people leave comments. Then people vote up or down on those comments. People vote up or down on on the post or the comments. Um, what came out of that, interesting as Bitcoin kind of evolved, was Dogecoin, which was an almost joke, a meme coin that was very easy to mine. People got a lot of it, and then they would throw it around as tips on Reddit and other sites, and just for people who did fun things. And it would be nothing to give someone 1,000 Doge because they were slices of pennies. Um, so what people have done is kind of taken the concept of that and applied it specifically to a blockchain, one of those being Steem, and a website called Steemit, where you register a wallet and submit stories using that account, and then users upvote and curate those submissions, and those that get the most upvotes actually get some coin. It doesn't take any outside concept of tipping. The vote is the tip essentially, and the way it works is your participation sort of generates tokens, your submissions generate tokens, and it's a sort of ecosystem itself, which kind of um, you know, just rewards users on both sides. The basic attention token is another interesting concept. What they've done is taken the network concept and moved it to the browser, and what they do and hope to continue doing is block ads. So by default, if you use their browser, that's what it does. You don't get paid for anything. But if you use their browser and you opt in to seeing ads, then advertisers who buy that space are essentially paying you to watch those ads. As I said, Dogecoin was one of the early coins, but it's interesting because it just sort of never died and has become kind of a training ground or an idea ground for other concepts and other coins. Um, and then the last one we're going to talk about is SocialCoin, which is much like Steem, but built on the Ethereum token. And much like Steem, it has a social network called Nexus, which again kind of rewards users for posting and curating voting on those. Nexus itself is much more integrated with ad companies, so it's sort of a hybrid of Steam and Basic Attention in a way, um, but they've sort of much more centralized what is the concept of curation and ad revenue than the others. Um, so thank you for listening. I would like to point out that of these coins, I'm not recommending any of them. I'm just kind of giving you an overview and some sort of idea of some of what they do. And thank you for watching.